Hey everybody, it's Nico Iona. I am back with another Pick an Image tarot reading for you today. I got 3 images up here, which are also always going to be, well, always. I started this new thing just this last time, but these are all available tattoo designs. So whichever one you resonate with is going to be your reading. I'm going to have some clickable timestamps below in the YouTube description box. So if you just want to jump right to your reading and one resonated with you already, we've got a pineapple, the Leo, or the heart. And I know there's a little glare on this screen, so I'm going to pop them up on the screen so you can get a little bit better of a look at them, but I'll put these up on the screen as I do the readings. So whichever one is resonating the most, of course, something's calling to you. It'd be really easy, I guess, if your zodiac sign's a Leo. This is a really pretty design here. Then this pineapple was an older one, and then the heart with the thorns and the butterflies. So, again, all available tattoos, and whichever one is jumping out, let me just say this. The more the image resonates with you, the more the reading is probably going to resonate too. That's just how the patterns and the synchronicities work. So, in my years of doing this. So if one's really jumping out, this really might be your reading. If nothing's jumping out, this might not be for you. You can go to a different reading, and when something really catches your eye, that's how it's really going to work well. So I've definitely noticed that. So, you know, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't force it. If it does, go with it, and you're going to be able to enjoy the resonance with whatever reading you picked here. So without further ado, I am going to start the reading. So we're going to start out with this fancy embroidered pineapple here. They're backwards. All right, fancy embroidered pineapple is the one we are giving a start to. And since the pineapple is such a bright kind of symbol in a lot of cultures, I have a diverse pick of decks to do these readings with today. So I chose the Lightseers deck, the Lightseers Tarot here to do this reading with. And I will tell you what, they're just brutal to this deck on some of these Facebook groups. They just really, really make fun of it. They really have a fun time at its expense because it's just so love and light and oracle decky kind of. But I really love the deck. I'm gonna admit to you, because you know, it's just, these descriptions are extremely well written. It really dives into it. The deck really has a personality, and whoever wrote it, Chris Ann, I guess, was very smart, real woke. It's really a great deck. So, and I really thought it matched with the pineapple here, the sort of the vibes and the energy. So, pineapple people, I'm gonna get your reading going here. Let's pull a few cards, see what our general energy is. Wow. That just flipped right out. Lovers in the upright. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. Right along with the theme right off. Like, brightest, most positive energy would be the sun usually. But lovers, you know, I just take it. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good way to feel. Yeah, okay. So 3 of Swords in the reverse. This is sweet. So you might be, or somebody that's close to you, affecting your energy field very strongly, has been able to get to a point where they're available to have a healthy relationship, probably, or choose the right people, because sometimes this card can very much mean the choice between 2 paths. But they're able to choose that, and they're ready for that, or you are, since you're the one watching it, and this is your reading, because of being able to get through this past heartbreak. See, just this agony, this heartbreak, but that's now in the past. So it's like you or someone that you might be watching for or thinking of right now has emotionally healed enough to be able to do that, to be in an actual intimate relationship. This might not be for everybody, but that's how it's reading so far. Those kind of all flew out in a patch, so yeah, it just looks like it was, and this is not an easy thing to get over, so this might have been a pretty long process, and sometimes you don't even know that you've come such a long way emotionally or healed so many emotional wounds to get to that spot, and you might surprise yourself. So that might be the message that you might be needing right now. So we got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, so it's sort of this energy of not knowing whether to like, should I stay or should I go, sort of a thing. It's like, I've got this new crop that's promising over here to tend to, and this old one that's maybe not doing so well. Do I neglect it and move on, or do I try to nurse this one back to health and deal with both, or what have you? So it's sort of like an attachment maybe to old situations. But what it's showing me here is like there might be a certain amount of second guessing. Like maybe I really haven't done all that healing, and I'm not really as far along as I think. But what this is saying is like you or someone else is in fact for another 7. Wow. Okay. In the 7 of Wands in reverse here again. So it's just like, yeah. So the 7 of Wands is traditionally like standing up for yourself, being sovereign to oneself, standing there and standing up to competition and all of that other stuff. Like, should I stay or should I go? Should I compete? It's all of these anxieties with what do I need to do? Do I need to leave this in the past behind me? Do I need to continue sticking up for this thing that was maybe a door that was continually closed? And from what this is saying here with these 2 7s in the reverse is like, I really don't think, I think the past is supposed to be in the past from what this is saying. It's just kind of like, if you're needlessly hanging on to some kind of connection from the past, it's just like the choice is sort of yours. It's just like you can live in the past or you can live in the present. And this message is very much saying like sometimes, it's worth waiting in certain situations. That's just confirmation to me that I'm saying the right thing. The Sun, the most positive energy in the deck. It's about being present. It's about leaving the past in the past and moving forward and nurturing your new connections, not necessarily old ones, because this is here for you in the present. And, if this doesn't apply to you romantically, this is going to be the meaning for most people. But it's also the choice of 2 paths. So this could be with a personal relationship, which, like I said, is going to be most of the time. But it also could be like a career move or the choice between 2 life paths. And what it's showing me is to pick the new. You've suffered and angsted over old issues long enough here from what this is saying. And it's just time to fully experience the presence and not think that you haven't earned that. Because you have. It's just like here comes the sun. It's time to sort of like reap the fruits of your labor by being able to leave that old dying crop behind, and take what you've learned and apply it to your new relationships or your new situation. And that's where that's all going to really flourish and grow. See, wow, that's just great. These are probably my 2 favorite cards in the entire tarot. 4 Wands and the Sun. So 4 Wands, it's like, yes, again, it's just really encouraging that it's just like it's time to take that new opportunity to combine forces with new people. Find celebration, like have your heart be there, be okay with being joyous, because it's just, from what this is saying, it's just like you've had this barrier up from this, so you had to overcome in the past. This horrible heartbreak, maybe betrayal, just absolute devastation. But now it's time, just like that root theory. And look at all these roots we see. It's just like the deeper the roots, the higher the branches are going to go. So it's just like, it's almost like this universal prepping to be able to actually experience joy. The one hang up with that is just the fact that sometimes when you may have been traumatized, experienced trauma or horribly low lows, joy is almost an alien. And it's almost like, when is something going to go wrong? I mean, it's, and that's a very, very common psychological response to being down for a long time. But from what this is saying, it's just like, look at this. Look at these 3 beautiful cards that I just drew. Healthy relationships, healthy paths are available to you now. This is sort of like that joy of just like, look at them. They're just really happy, delighted in the soul of the party, and it's just saying you have come long enough to have the opportunity to be able to let that into your heart and actually experience joy, which might actually feel like an alien thing because of feeling this so much. See, look at her face. And we all experience all of the 78 archetypes of these decks, at least in theory, at least once in our lives, and that's why it works so well. Let's see if it has anything further here, like advice, perhaps, on how to stay up. Yeah, see? It's just like this emotionally walking away, but it's in reverse. So what this is telling me for your message here is just like, just because you remove yourself and you emotionally walk away from something that was not serving you for a long time. And I don't like that expression because it's like, oh, it wasn't serving you, walk away. And it sounds so narcissistic. But you know what I mean here. It's just like, don't feel as though you betrayed some kind of situation to yourself just because you invested so much time and energy into something and it just didn't pan out, and maybe it wasn't your door. So it's just saying, like, just because you walked away doesn't mean you abandon yourself or anybody else. You're doing, you have to put yourself first, which is sometimes the hardest thing in this world to do. But it's just saying, like, the past is in the past. Think about how liberating it will be to just completely let that go, because then all of these awesome manifestations are really coming through for you. So that's a really, really positive reading. I'm going to pull one Spirit Animal Oracle card for you, just as your final message from my pineapple folks. These cards are enormous. They have beautiful art on them. Of course, I don't have the box right here. I haven't been the best responsible YouTuber in that way. But they're a spirit animal deck that's just super visually appealing. So let's see. Oh, there we go. That one's sticking out. Gosh. This one just keeps coming out over and over again. So Old Soul, Black Jaguar, or the Black Panther is a big one of mine. It's my spirit animal arm right here at the top. You walk through life with confidence and grace. You have the power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. So another big message of this spirit animal, which I know well, is the ability to embrace the unknown. So this just goes so beautifully with the rest of your message here. It's just like, you might have created a lot of stories in your mind in the past of just thinking like, well, I know, this situation might come back around, or this dream that I had, or this situation that I really wanted for myself, or even this relationship that I really, really wanted, and I thought this person was going to come back. It's just saying you can create your dreams, but you have to kind of think outside of the box and be okay with not knowing exactly where your destination's going to be. And your destination might be somewhere that you really didn't have in mind. One of the really crazy things that happened in my life was I took a placement test as an 18-year-old in my my homeroom at my first attempt at college before I partied out, and my number one slot for career path was tattoo artist, and that to me just really, really exemplifies how the breadcrumbing in the universe works. Because I will tell you, I was in school for acting, directing. I wanted to be a famous actress. That was all I ever wanted from the time I was a little kid. And this result came out, and I was infuriated. I tore this sheet up. I threw it into the trash. I was just like, that's what prisoners do. That's what I don't even, tattoos, gross. And I was just so disgusted. But look, I mean, I went down that path, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love tattooing. It's been an awesome journey for me, and that's just a personal antidote. But it always, things have an interesting way of popping back up years later, or months later, even sometimes hours later. But you got to pay attention to those patterns, because it's like there's always going to be this universal prepping. But you have to be uncomfortable with not understanding what exactly that's going to mean, because that'll fall into place in its own time. And that might be 20 years down the road in that story's case. In others, it's not such a long time sometimes. But from the energy of this reading, it's just like, wow, it's spending such a long time in this heartbroken state, and just trying to revive, resurrect from the dead this old situation or this old relationship. And it's just like, stop looking over your shoulder, because what's in front of you is more beautiful than what that ever could have been. So it's a really, really cool and powerful message. I really like that for these pineapple people. Look at that beautiful kitty cat, nice spirit animal, one of my personal favorites. So that's going to wrap up your reading. And I'm going to move on to the heart with the thorns and the 5 butterflies. So let's see if I can get a little better angle on that. There we go. It's still colorful, a little bit of glare. But the one I'm selected for this one is going to be... I'm going to go a little darker on this. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot deck. Look, it kind of matches the art. It's cool how that always happens. This deck is a little darker, but the art is just really cool. You'll see what I mean. So, Jesus. Okay, so right out of the gate, we got the King of Cups in reverse. Mr. King of Cups here. Dark King of Cups, dark emotional king, and in the reverse, he might be a little more dark. So let's see what this has to say. Or a lack of emotional maturity, or inability to connect to emotional maturity from a masculine energy. It's looking like right away here. Then we have the 9 of Wands, is it? Yeah, in reverse. So weariness, weary to stand up to the next battle, but it did come out in reverse. So it's just like maybe bittered emotionally from continually fighting the good fight and then not receiving the expected results. Yeah. And that just confirms it with this 2 of Wands, like trying to combine forces and not receiving good results from that. So becoming jaded from that. So this might be you or somebody in your life or your masculine side, but the King of Cups is the emotional masculine, okay? And that energy is pretty tricky because it's just like this is somebody who's very emotionally sensitive and has clearly experienced a lot of letdowns here, all right, in the past. So that's a good thing. It has enabled him to stand in his power, and the Temperance card was just sitting there face up and combine his own forces and be his own emotional security. So, and that just goes so well with this image. That's so interesting. Like the thorns with the heart, but so it's kind of, I'm getting a very negative and positive vibe from this reading so far if you chose this heart. And this is about either your masculine side or a man in your life that this message is coming through about. And yeah, I'm kind of feeling like it might be, yeah, it's either you're the man or this is a man in your life, or, you know, we're not gender specific here. So masculine energy too. I don't mean to pigeonhole it. It's not necessarily gender specific, but they're kings, so I'm going to say he. So it's either giving you a message about this man or you are that man that's experienced all of this hardship and weary from battle and just like, oh my gosh, how many more times do I have to go through this and be let down with pure intentions? So it's almost like an emotional wound or being jaded in a way. But just because this is in reverse, I'm not seeing this as necessarily a completely hopeless person or somebody who's heartless quite yet. Okay, yeah, and this just is reaffirming again the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's again he or you, whoever it's resonating for that I'm talking about right now, just feels like the give and take was just very unclear, and it has caused a lot of confusion. So in his life or your life, it's just been like, have I been the beggar, the borrower, or have I been the one shelling my gifts out? You know, it's just like there's just confusion as far as the emotional give and take in his life has been concerned. And he's confused right now, and it's making him kind of stingy with his energy and with his money too. So it's just making him really weary and really, or you, him or you. Yeah, okay, so, and again, the 6 of Swords, and it came out in reverse toward me. So it's like he's not been able to move on from past past disappointments and letdowns, being left to sit there just like that. Stood up. I got stood up. I put it all out. I put it all on the table, and I got stood up. And I understand that balance needs to be. I believe in balance. He believes in it. You believe in it. But just I haven't felt it. Okay? Because it's just like, here's all these beggars that I keep trying to give to, and look at that beggar, look at that raggedy thing. Just like keeps on feeling like whoever I give energy to, whoever I give my emotional support and my financial support to, ends up turning around and really, really disappointing me. So that might be something that you need to, Six of Wands in reverse now, causing in defeat, and almost has caused an arrogance in him. So it's just like, if you're spoiled, and that's just how it goes though. It's like, that's the life path of all of us. We learn these lessons, and sometimes you can get really jaded and really down. And if this is you, it's sort of the message of just like, well, if you had to repeat a lesson a bunch of times, it's because your soul really signed up to learn that particular lesson in this lifetime. And I know it's hard to accept this, but sometimes the souls of the people that do us the dirtiest, the most wrong, give us the hardest times, are the souls in the long run that actually have a very strong contract with you, a very deep bond. I've even heard people say they're the souls who love you the most. And it's a hard, weird way to look at it, and not the easiest thing for our human brain to comprehend, but I find it to resonate. Lovers, again, look at this. So this might be somebody that you're involved with, or somebody close to you is involved with as a significant other, or you might be entering into a new relationship right now. That could be going on. Yep, it's kind of like the Magician in reverse, World in reverse. Don't underestimate just like I said before, the manifesting power of your soul's lessons. So it's just like whatever lesson or however you're jaded in whatever way was meant to happen. So you can test yourself to break through that, or if you're just going to act, if this is going to make your heart shut down, and because of past letdowns. And that, where'd she go? Sitting on the stairs all dejected. I really wanted to show that again. Yeah. So if this situation keeps coming up for this masculine energy, and he wants to fail the test, that's fine. Like the universe doesn't judge that stuff. It's just like, however many times you need to retake a test, that's fine. And it's not necessarily that you failed like by getting more aloof, but it's just like, it's this cracking your heart open kind of a message here, or his heart, this masculine energy in your life. So we got the 10 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, it's just like, again, I just see this repeat message of this masculine energy, either you or someone in your life, being very guarded with their finances, with their emotions, because of past hurt. It's just, and the competition here, like competing thoughts for them, is driving them a little bit crazy, like things competing for their spiritual attention. If they're spiritual or not, it doesn't matter. Their subconscious is going to pick up on things competing for their energy and their attention. And it's really confusing them. So it might be, or it's confusing you. But I'm getting here that this particular masculine, maybe they are watching this tarot video, but I'm kind of getting that for most people's situation, this is going to be a masculine energy that you're dealing with, and it's like kind of a message or a warning or something you need to know about this person, and understand why they are the way they are, which is not like making excuses for them, but it's just kind of like psychologically understanding them. So let's see what else it has to say. Here we go, in the Devil. So it's just also like what I said before with those energies competing for your attention. It's just like, if you hear anything about the adversary, so it's just like, you don't have to believe in God and the devil in the traditional sense, but it's just an energy. The way it works out is energy competes, okay, with this 5 of Wands. So it's just like something's coming up that looks really good and joyous and positive. It's just like there's going to be an equal force coming out to screw that up, basically. And it's just like, it's just, that's part of our purpose here, is to discern that and use our free will to learn our lessons. Again, it's just like, I mean, you can split it down into right or wrong, but it's really lessons and soul growth. And it's just like, however long it takes you to complete that lesson and accept what is and move on gracefully, move away from the doors that are closed and go through the open ones and accept that there's a lot of temporary stuff in life, without making jumpy decisions or going for instant gratification, things like that. I'm not really getting that this masculine energy that I'm picking up on here is somebody who is necessarily a really impulsive person, but somebody who's just been really jaded and does probably have some addiction problems due to that too. So let's see if there's anything else. A star. Okay, star in reverse. So it's just like, it's either saying that there's no hope for this person or not to lose hope. So let me get a clarifier on that. Heart with the Thorns took an interesting turn on this one. Overthinking. Okay, so this is his masculine energy's issue here. If you chose this heart, is overthinking, and for you too. I mean, if you're him or dealing with him. So it's kind of like the message of, just because somebody has reacted in a certain way to your kindness or your generosity or your good graces, it's an obvious thing, but the message of these cards is just saying not to let it spoil your heart. You can let it spoil your heart, but that's going to get more repeat lessons for you. So it's just like, the way you treat people is what you're worth, and the way they treat you is what they're worth. And it's just like, yeah, I know it's easier said than done to be kind to everybody once you've learned repeat lessons. But it's just like, yes, of course, use discernment and don't, shell out of your pocket for these raggedy beggars wherever he went. I pulled so many, there they are. Yeah, so it's just kind of like, but reading from this card, it's just like, this person is in a good position. And it's just like, just because they've been jaded in the past doesn't mean they should keep giving. It's just like, even if somebody's going to waste the gift you give, it doesn't make it any less valuable. But again, the discernment came for a good reason, because this person has been really let down in the past. So that's kind of the main message. It's just like understanding yourself or someone else with like, why can't I open my heart? And it's because of past disappointments that are hard to move on from. So let's get a spirit animal card, please. Those are very different readings for the two images so far. All right, let me see. One's bound to come out here. There it goes. All right. Pronghorn, action. Okay. That's a really good message with that. So what does it say to go along with that? So it's now's the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. So, choking over my words now. Talking too fast. So yeah, the pronghorn, almost looks like a pronghorn, antelope, pronghorn. Take action. Move forward. It doesn't matter, this overthinking thing, which was just the last card that drew out. Don't let that see. It's just like he's waving around at the air, letting anxiety stop him from moving forward in this jaded emotional state of just like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to let me down. It's like, nope, move forward anyway. It's just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. If you stay in the same spot and not open your heart up at all, you're just going to stay in the same spot and then get a forced lesson of disappointment. You're going to be sitting on those stairs again, all with your head in your hands again. So it's just kind of like very clear message here. Take action, move forward. You got to trust people to a certain extent. And, I'm not saying like jump in without assessing risks, but I'm just saying like if it seems like a reasonable risk, don't let your fears and anxieties get the better of you and you not take that leap. Or him, or he, so whatever masculine energy that is you're dealing with. And again, it could be your masculine side, or you could be that King of Cups. So anyway, pronghorn, that's your spirit animal message to wrap up that reading for my heart and thorn people. All right, and so we're going to move on to the last one, which is going to be the Leo. There he is. Leo with the glare. Huh. It's just not wanting to capture that there. There we go. So for the Leo, since this is kind of a traditional, there we go. It's got flowers in him. I'll try to paste that up there too. See him better. So for the Leo, I picked the traditional Rider-Waite deck to go along with this reading. Since it's a traditional zodiac sign, let's go for the traditional deck with all its traditional meanings. The Rider-Waite, the good old sturdy, good old trusty. That comes right out. So Leos, or if you just like the image, you don't necessarily have to be a Leo, or you could be asking for a Leo, or you could just like lions and you could just like this drawing. It doesn't matter. So this is going to be your reading if this one resonated with you. Two of Swords for your first card. Stalemate, indecision, not knowing when to rest or quit. So yeah, we've got anxiety as our main message so far for the Leos. Yes, okay, yeah. Whenever I pull the Ace of Swords, I just see that as like, yes. It's just a confirmation like, yup, nailed it. So it's like, yeah, slice through the truth on lots of anxiety, a stalemate, not knowing when to rest or quit here. Like almost like a beating a dead horse, but not tangibly in your mind. You're not able to make some kind of decision in your mind. And Knight of Wands in reverse, you're not able to rush forward and be creative. There's a serious blockage going on when you're thinking about your life situation right now. Okay, so this has something to do with other people, soulmates, your soul group, your family, your extended family, people who might be having a hard time right now, and you can't decide how to help them or how to move forward with yourself. You don't know how do I word this? You don't know how to help them right now without lighting yourself on fire. Okay, so that's what's kind of going on here with all of this, Leos, lions. So yeah, and I just flip it out just in perfect timing. Yes again. So it's just like cutting through the truth and seeing a situation for what it is. People that you care about you're concerned with right now. There's something that's really, really bothering you. And you're trying to stand up and be ready for that next battle with the Nine of Wands there, as far as like, I'm going to help you with your battle because I'm your people, but I have my own life going on too. So I'm kind of standing here battle weary, like wondering what the next step is. Yeah, okay, so Two of Cups merging. Could even be a romantic partner then, or it could have something to do with your family that you're trying to bail out right now or help out and you don't know how to help them, and this is concerning your partner too. Or it could, in some cases, you're trying to bail out somebody that you're romantically involved in. Let me see here. And I'm just going to say from these cards, this is not a new involvement. This is like existing partners kind of a thing. So somebody you've been with for a while, that you're comfortable and familiar with, or this is affecting that partner of yours. This is kind of getting specific, but it's just like family situations. Yeah. So like both of you here, if you're in a partnership, this is getting really specific, but I'm just going to read it this way because that's the way it's kind of resonating. Are having to really kind of take soft control and have a lot of patience on a situation that it's just like you really can't control it, but you're doing your best, it's just like it's kind of striving through something that might be sort of exhausting, and just like you can't take hard control with it. Neither of you can. Man, there's a lot of repeat cards pulling out for some of these. And the Eight of Swords, it's just like, and again, that goes right with the Two of Swords, which is the first one that popped out. Look, replaying this scenario and this situation, how you can help it or come up with some kind of solution again and again and again. And it's just got you really, really stagnant, but you can't drop it. It's almost like I'm playing this again and again in my mind. It's carrying over into my life, into my family. My partner is having to deal with it too. Or maybe you're dealing with each other's situations or family baggage. Somebody's kind of like really got got strapped with dealing with probably family, like children or brothers and sisters, or somebody who, is definitely way more of an acquaintance that depends on you or them financially. So that's just sort of like the baseline of the whole situation. It kind of told a story there. Wow. So let me see about advice. Let's pull some advice cards for this. It's like, okay, that's all fine and good. Thanks for summing that up. But is there something I can do to move in the right direction? So we got the 3 of Swords and the 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so the best thing to do here when dealing with others in this situation is to not do any kind of emotional guilt trips. And I'm not saying like just be a doormat and let people tromp all over you emotionally or financially, or just milk your support without being reliable or giving anything back. But it's just saying like make a logical decision, a head over heart decision on how much you can actually step in and help these soulmates, whoever they are, or soulmate, whoever they are, that might be in a troubling situation. And like so the message here is like they're already strapped enough, and getting guilted or you standing up for yourself with your broken heart stuff is just going to cloud them more and spin them into more of a negative cycle. So it's not saying hand over the world to them or break your back or whatever, but it's just saying be very logical when you're talking about maybe extending a hand to help out. And it's not like, it's just whoever this is for, it's just delivering the message specifically of like, you don't know what I've been through. How dare you take advantage of my kindness? I'm going to give this. It's just, don't do that. Just be logical. Say it once. Say it clearly. Don't go around in a circle about, yeah, okay, so 9 of Cups. It's just saying like, the wish card. The wish card. Wish fulfillment. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so to support what I was saying there, it's like wish fulfillment, handing it over to them without them having to do anything with these is also not the answer. It's just like, it'll come naturally. You kind of got to let them, you kind of got to do what you need to do for yourself to enjoy yourself, to, stand up for your own enjoyment and your own comfort in life before you give out. And that's gonna allow you to be a little more abundant, as contradictory or counterintuitive as that can sound sometimes. It's just like the more you sit in that stalemate energy of worrying about people that you love, their problems, it's kind of just telling you like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're worrying about them or not. They're going to have the same problems. So if you have something to enjoy right now, you need to go ahead and enjoy that. It's not being selfish. That's what that says. So there's your advice. And it's just like, yeah, here you go. So the 2 of Pentacles, juggling. So it's just like, just because you can enjoy the 9 of Cups and drink your little flight of 9 of Cups there, enjoy your evening tonight or whatever you have to do, it doesn't mean that their situation's going away or you don't care. It's just like, so if you had any guilt about that or you were stewing on that, it's just like, you still got to juggle it. You still got both the balls in the air or whatever, or this infinity rubber band he's got going on, still doing his little dance. So it's just like, it's still going to be something for you to juggle, just like however you need to check out and enjoy what you need to enjoy while you're worried about them. That's what you need to do. And see, it's just like logical speaking, cutting through to the truth, being even a little bit cold sometimes, tapping into your masculine energy to do that, and just being like, hey, it is what it is. I do what I can, and they're doing what they can, and I don't need to stew and worry about it all the time. So it's just like, get yourself out of that energy of worry, because it's actually just going to attract more negative stuff the more you worry about it. So let's see, Leos, if we have a spirit animal card for you to wrap up your message. Sure do. Loon. The rare loan. Intuitive. So, your intuitive abilities. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. So the loon. And it's funny because the last card that popped out is kind of contradictory to that. So what I'm seeing, and then this card was the balance, the juggle. So this is hard logic, thinking with your left brain, calculating results, and then we got the loon here, which is like complete opposite of that. But it's just saying like you've got to balance the people that you love, even though they might be in a difficult situation right now. It's looking like you're not at rock bottom. They might be, I don't want to say rock bottom, but they're in a tough situation, somebody close in your energy, if this reading is resonating. So it's just like you kind of got to make that head over heart thing going on, but at the same time, like, combine your intuition with that to understand that some things are just really out of your control, like somebody's path and their karma and their life lessons, even if they're your child, say, is just not really, you do what you can for them, but you got to use your intuition to know where you can step in and where you cannot. And it's just like, it's really saying to enjoy the opportunities for enjoyment that are put in front of you in your path right now, because it's just like every soul needs a break. We all need to reap those little rewards as they come to us, because you never know, there might be like a stretch of desert ahead. So your main message here, Leo, is to enjoy what you can enjoy, and don't let guilt or that Two of Swords, that stalemate energy about worrying about other people's problems, let that infringe upon your enjoyment within reason. So there's your message. All three messages all wrapped up. I've been rattling on for a little while here. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thanks so much for tuning in as always, and I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be back with another one soon. Have a good day or evening. Bye.